putting this together, even after I'd actually scheduled the broadcast and everything, it occurred to me to speak about loving awareness and how essential it is. You know, in this world of non-dual inquiry and the pointers and the like, you can actually become almost kind of clinical when we talk about pure consciousness and pure awareness and that sort of thing. But you know, the Sanskrit term for what we would call pure awareness or the like, pure being, the actual nature of being itself, is Sat Chit Ananda. And Sat and Chit, Sat being, existence, truth, reality, Chit being consciousness, awareness of being, right? So you can't separate the two. The last is Ananda or Ananda, and it's usually translated as bliss, but I like to think of it differently than that, because it kind of, it's like ecstasy, right? It tends to be this kind of this ecstatic moment that you experience, and it seems disconnected, and especially in most non-dual conversations, including a lot of my own, there's an emphasis on the being and consciousness, that consciousness is being itself, and obviously existing without consciousness is indefinable, and consciousness without existing is impossible. So obviously those two go hand in hand. But what about Ananda? I like to think of it as feeling. There's the knowingness, and then there's the feelingness. Chit being the knowingness of being. You exist and you know that you exist. Right? But we also feel that we exist. And so to me, it immediately points to the experience of love, of the visceral feeling of existence. Like if you do a meditation and just sit and feel your body for a while, or do a relaxation meditation where you just kind of consciously relax each part of the body and just feel that flow of energy. It's an aspect of knowingness that we don't often cognize. It's partially because we're very much in our heads, especially in the West. Partially is I don't think it's actually been presented well enough, including me. So I like this expression, loving awareness. You know, awareness can seem so, what's the word I'm looking for? Cold. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's there, it's presence and all of that. And it can seem like it's just almost clinical. But Nisargadatta put it as having an awareness and an intense affection. That this is actually the key to awakening, this intense affection. So I'm going to make a recommendation as we're going through and I'm answering questions today, to really pay attention to how the questions and the answers feel. You know, it's not, pure sensation feeling, and it's not just pure emotions. They're a part of it. Right? There's a feeling to the truth, isn't it? You'll say, "Oh, that really resonates with me," and sometimes we'll even say, "I really feel that's true." There's more to it than just a conscious recognition of something. It's quite visceral, and frankly, if the nature of reality was just this awareness that had no heart to it, if you kind of, I don't know, something would be missing, wouldn't it? It's no accident that Ramana Maharshi always referred to it as the heart, not just the awakened mind, but the heart. That the truth of you was the heart of you. And it's no accident that the probably the most significant, certainly the most poetic of all of the Buddhist sutras is called the Heart Sutra. The heart of Buddhism, the heart of Christianity, the heart of Christ, right? So can we regard, what does that mean then? On a practical level, what does that really mean? Well, a loving awareness is infinitely aware of everything, but embracing of everything. It's not a distant awareness, like, oh yeah, I'm aware of this, this thing I have here, this water bottle I have here. I'm aware of the plants behind me. I'm aware of the camera in front of me, right? But I'm also aware of the beauty of it, the wonder of being able to sit in my little apartment in Seattle, Washington, and talk to people all over the world. What does that feel like? It's like, wow. and we actually interact, and I can ask questions, and there's these incredibly beautiful flowers that were on sale, right? And the basil that I'm trying to grow, some of my own spices, and the water bottle and everything that has in it. That's it's an embrace. And the real point of meditation, and this isn't a total non sequitur, the real point of meditation is to be in the space where you quite literally embrace every aspect of human existence. We tend to want to gravitate towards the things we like and away from the things we don't like. And somehow we think that meditation or self-help or any kind of process is going to give us more of the things we like and less of the things that we don't like. We never actually stop and examine those preferences and go, no, in non-dual teaching, you say, well, don't have any preferences. Well, that's easier, which is actually impossible. You're going to have preferences. They're going to come and go. They're going to be unstable. They're going to be changeful. Right? So if we can recognize that, we can see, yes, there's a preference here. I'm going to sit down now, and I'm actually, I had some tea earlier. Now I'm having a nutritional drink, right? Because that was my preference in this moment. And it's going to change. I mean, you're all used to seeing me with the mate cup in my hand. So can we embrace that moment? Can we embrace the changefulness of human life? Can we embrace the ups and downs? Can we embrace the fact that the human body gets sick? that we both have altruistic aspirations. We want to help save the world, and at the same time, I really want a new car. Can we? Right? Oh, I shouldn't have a gas car. I shouldn't have a car at all. We should be doing public transportation, but I want a car. We should we should be perfectly willing to embrace both sides of that. Excuse me. May be getting more of that today. I'll see if I can mute. Can we embrace all of it? This is what the symbol of Buddha sitting under the Bodhi tree means. The beautiful image of him sitting on the ground, one hand touching the earth, one hand pointed to the sky. This intersection between the divine, the absolute, the rarefied, the unknowable, and the everyday human life. That's also the actual meaning behind the symbol of the cross, which was around long before the crucifixion of Christ. If that even happened as an actual historical event, it may be completely mythological, because the cross is a mythological symbol. And what it symbolizes is the intersection between the heavens and the earth, and between the past and the future, in the dead center of the now. And it is in that place that the egoic mind, the small sense of self, is crucified, sacrificed to the to this intersection, to this unknowable middle way. So open your hearts. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. Let us experience an enlightenment of the heart, which is far more in need. We're far more in need of now than even non-dual recognition. They really come hand in hand. I found that every time there's a new opening, I see a new dimension that I hadn't seen before, that it's attended by something in my heart just kind of cracking. I don't know which comes first, if they come simultaneously, if they're mixed up, but sometimes there'll be tears that come. Sometimes there'll just be this incredible feeling of affection and love. And at the same time, just incredibly precise insights. We really can't separate the two, which is why the practice of mindfulness and compassion, the bodhisattva vow to save all beings from suffering, is so critical. So the heart of Buddhism, for if you read the sutras, I mean, it's precision par excellence. But the whole practice of mindfulness, the bodhisattva vows, the vowing to save all beings from suffering, the Shanti Deva, which is what the Dalai Lama, it's his mantra he recites every day, about being a bridge to others, about alleviating suffering, about being a raft or a boat or a bridge for those to escape the flood. If we were to cultivate that, I think that the deep wisdom of non-dual understanding would be far more readily available, far easier to understand. It's kind of a Western phenomena that we see heart and mind as being these two separate things. They were really interchangeable in Buddhist language, and the Chinese symbol for heart and the Chinese symbol for mind are the same symbol. So it's really part of the kind of the intellectual heritage of the West that separates everything out, where the mind becomes this intensely intellectual thing, scientific and precise, and the mind and the heart gets reduced to sentimentality, and they really go hand in hand. On that note, my dear friends, start with just an intention. The mind will go, well, how do I do that? How do I do loving kindness? Well, whenever anything unpleasant comes up, especially in meditation is the practice, right? It's where we practice being in life. It's not an end in and of itself. We sit in meditation, or we walk in meditation, or however you approach it. When we sit in meditation, we are practicing being in life. So we're practicing whatever's coming up in you, whatever you're not liking about you. Can you be present with it in loving kindness? Even the most ugly thoughts, can you be present with them in loving kindness? Because this too is part of the human experience. Anybody here not have unloving, hateful, or angry thoughts towards themselves or others? If so, if you've never had one, we'll switch places. You can do this, and I'll be listening to you. If you can say yes to it, yes, this too. This is also part of human life. This is the inevitable result of this incredible mystery of being born a human. And so I totally accept it. I allow it to be there. In fact, I recognize that it even has a place. Yeah, I'll let it go with that. So once again, welcome everyone. It's good to be back with you.